Hi everybody, Elkrex here, and welcome to episode 161 of Thoughts from the Inner Sphere. And today, we're going to talk about the Vindicator. It's the 45-ton mech. It's been improved a little bit with some new technology. Not bad. It's kind of like, if you like the Vindicator and the Succession Wars the way it is, you'll probably like this one a little bit better because, well, they did some slight changes to make it a little bit more interesting. Now, the Vindicator, like I said, 45 tons, comes in around 1100 battle value. So it's a little more expensive this time around due to the fact that it has some more upgraded equipment. It is still the 464, so if you like your jump jets, you still have them. Still the same old 464. You know, nothing's changed there. It could be a little better, possibly. It comes in with 15 double heat sinks. Yes, 15. So obviously this thing has a ton of weapons that deal with all that extra heat. Now, it used to have 16. Now it is 50. So, yeah, they dropped one of those heat sinks for some different equipment. It has 144 points of armor, which is, it's kind of respectable for what it is. For sort of like a second line mech, as I like to call this thing. The, the R1, I think it was, still has 144, so nothing's changed there. Now, for weapon systems, we still have the LRM-5 in the left torso with a ton of ammo. And now we have case. In case somebody decides to hit it and blow the ammo, at least you're only losing half your mech instead of the full mech. So there is a benefit there. It has a PPC, an ER PPC in the right arm, so that has been upgraded from a standard PPC to an ER, so it can dissipate easily the 15 points that come from that weapon system. So that's the good thing. Has a medium pulse laser in the head. Okay. And then we have 2 jump jets in the center, and then we have 2 jump jets in the right and left leg. Alright, so what can we say about the new Vindicator? Not bad. It's basically taking the standard 1R and just did some tweaking of the weapons and the not jump jets, but the heat sinks. So, yeah, I can agree with what they've done with it to a certain extent. Mostly because, well, when you look at it, the obviously going from 16 singles to doubles, that's a good deal. But I think they could have gone a little bit better with the using those heat sinks to increase the weapon systems on board and maybe some like ECM or something of that nature. Because if you're used to dissipating 16, now you can dissipate more than that. So I would look at this like, okay, maybe if we go with the 10 standard or double heat sinks on this thing, that would give you 6 tons to play with. And you can maybe add an ECM unit and something of that nature. But in the long run, this thing can dissipate 30 heat. And I think the most this thing can do is, 22, I think it is. To be honest with you. Let me add it up here. I think it's 22. 10, 15, 18, 20. Yeah. So, not bad. You're doing good with it. So there's nothing to write home about. So, but you're still looking at maybe it's 25. Let's see, 15. Yeah, it's 25. You have 5 extra heat that you can dissipate. So it's definitely could probably just dumped off another couple of heat sinks, and just gone with adding an ECM package or something like that. Or if you had access to a C3 system. There you go. Now, there is a few variants of this mech wandering around in the wilderness. Alright, we've talked about the 1L before, where this is the 3L. We have the 4L, which is an improvement on this one. This was a major upgrade of the design. The engine was replaced with a extra light engine and increased the speed, and it has an ERPPC, LRM5, ER medium laser, and medium pulse laser, and finally Guardian ECM. And stealth armor. So that's basically sort of what I was talking about. What they've could have done with it. Just playing around with all so basically you got a 585 double heat sinks, 13 double heat sinks. You got XL engine. Still has 144 armor, but now you got a ER medium laser, a medium pulse laser, an LRM5, and the Guardian ECM. Now, something like that, I'd actually be more inclined to dump off that LRM5, unless possibly that you could put some special munitions in it for other type of work. Let's say you put flechette or something in there, so maybe that's your anti-infantry weapon system. But typically, a lot of times infantry show their face up close and personal, so that might not be a great idea. So, and then I don't know. There's something there just nagging at you in the back of your head to just like, oh, what's wrong with this thing? But it's a step in the right direction for speed. Unfortunately, you have to use the XL engine to do it. I'd be more inclined to see what I could do, increase the speed without the XLs. And then we have, I think it's the 5L? Yes, 5L. Okay, this one was introduced in 3060. It uses a standard engine, so that's kind of a step in the right direction. Has triples. Oh yeah, this is the one, the triple strength. I've used this one before. Triple strength armor, ER PPC, 2 ER medium lasers, 2 medium pulse lasers, a single pulse laser, a small laser, and it also has the sword, I believe. I used this one at Gen Con. It actually started lopping heads. Okay, so yeah, it has 10. This is where they used it. Got rid of the LRM in favor of that 3 tons. They put it elsewhere. Use those double heat sinks down to 10, and then you have triple strength on this thing, so you can ramp up the heat. This one's designed to heat up, just so you can use that sword and start lopping heads off. And it does work. Let me tell you, I've used it before to great effect. So you just pump up the heat, get it to that sweet spot, and go to town. Yeah, that's a nice one. It works really good in let's say a city fight of that nature, so you can get in and get out, jump over, if you have low enough buildings, jump around the block and just there you go, have a bad day. But you have to fire this thing early on and keep that heat level right in that sweet spot, so you have to balance it out. That's why it has so many different weapon systems on board. Alright, let's see what's the next one here? 6L. Let's dig up the 6. Is a 6L here? No, I don't have that one. But that one came out in 3068. This one has oh yeah, this is the plasma rifle one. 2 ER medium lasers. All 3 weapons are guided by a targeting computer. Yes. It has a Guardian ECM, which I've talked about. Stealth armor, but it has 2 rocket systems. And the sword and triple strength. There you go. So it's like one of those ones that's kind of like using that to pretty good effect. Now, I'm just curious here. Let's dig up this one here. Let's see what we can do. All right, this one has 585, 10 double heat sinks. If we can dump off the alarm, let's do that. Delete. All right, so that gives us 2.5 tons. Let's go 3 tons. Oh yeah, this is one of those ones where you could look at it and go, You could put a, let's just say you have access to a C3 system, add ECM, and there you go. It wouldn't be bad. ERPPC, 2 medium lasers, ECM, and Guardian, plus a C3 slave. Now, if you didn't want to have the Guardian, you could also, and if you didn't have access to the C3 system, you could add 3 medium lasers. So you have something for shooting at long range, and you'd have some medium lasers for short range, and you still just have the 10 double heat sinks, would make it a 585. And yeah, not a bad idea. I'd be more inclined, and that way you can dump off that case, get rid of that. This thing does not have ferrofibers. Yeah, let's put ferrofibers on it. There we go. Well, that gives us 2 tons. Wow. Where it's like, put it. Yeah, there you go. So you could turn this thing into up close and personal, something to take out infantry or not infantry. Yeah, well, power armor infantry, that type of deal. So you could have something running around with a whole bunch of medium lasers. So you'd have running around with 4 medium lasers, slave, Guardian, and a PPC. No, the sky's the limit when you're playing with these things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a mech that has lots of potential. You could go running around with this thing, and I find that it has a hard time dealing with the advent of a lot of improved weapon systems, especially if you have it facing off against a clan. Because when the clans, that's a game changer, and you basically, any type of medium mech now has to usually run itself around a 585 and start running with a little bit of protection type stuff like ECM and all that. But it's going to be hard if you are a mercenary. If you're running as a mercenary, you're going to be running without probably a lot of that special equipment. So a lot of times in that case, you're probably going to run, take your standard mech that you have here, and if possible, maybe you can throw a larger engine in it. Tear it apart, put it back together with a bigger engine, and then hopefully that extra speed's going to help you out in the long run. But that's pretty much it. There's not much to the Vindicator that's changed other than improved the weapon systems. There's a few variants down the road. We're talking 15, 20 years down the road when it in fluff wise, where they do that exactly what I'm talking about. So it takes them that long. But yeah, that's after the clan invasions and everything is starting to ramp up with the the jihad. So you have to balance everything what you want to do with it in the game. So in a nutshell, it's good. It's when you're facing off against a clan, it's basically got relegated to a second line, hopefully a mop-up type of mech, where you're forced to either use it for cleaning out corners where someone's trying to flank you, and then you have to put a blocking force in front of them to either grab attention or you know, hopefully you have they don't have the space to get by you, so you have to, you know, force them into an engagement, channel them in. But that is going to be a problem when it comes to the mechs like the Vindicator now. It's just too slow. It needs to be faster. But that's enough rambling on. All right, everybody. Hope you liked this one. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends, and we will talk with you all later. Hellcracks out.